Hello, how is everyone? I hope the lighting is okay. I'm gonna try to adjust the lighting when I edit the video if it's possible. Hi, my name is Tutu Letitia, aka Brown Sugar Shaman, aka The Hood Tarot, and on YouTube, my channel, Healing Consciousness. I am here to finally complete the first pick a card for my new life series, Inner Child Healing. Um, I kind of switched up how I was originally going to do it. So I hope I ain't throw too many people for a loop if they watched the first video and was like, that's not even the same, like crystals, like, girl, what you doing? Um, I just I wanted to pre-shuffle the cards because it was easier for me to channel the messages that way. And I'm also gonna do some some inner child healing messages. So I'm gonna write like some intuitive messages, some automatic writing to channel your inner child and your higher self. So for those of you who are checking a pick a card tarot type reading for the first time, welcome. How are you? I hope you are blessed. I hope that you find peace and some type of clarity from this. Really like giving it a chance. Congratulations. You are taking the first step to bettering yourself, and I hope that you at least watch the first part. Just don't overthink it. Whichever one initially that you feel drawn to, or if you feel drawn to more than one, whichever one it works for you, whatever one you feel like it's like calling your energy or kind of making your eyes automatically go towards it, choose that one, watch the part of that tape or video, see what messages you may find here. So what I'm doing is working on the mind, body, and the spirit, and starting with the mind, how we think about ourselves, what ways that we were maternally nurtured, that affect how we were growing up, like things that we experienced during our childhood, from in vitro to birth, to 18 years old. Like, what a part of your inner child is suffering right now, or what part of yourself, what part of your inner child that you want to tap back into or embrace back into, or what type of inner child that you originally are, like the higher self version of your inner child, because your inner child is nothing but the part of yourself that is the most purely connected to consciousness, source, God, the creator. Like, your inner child is that very first spark that you have when you are incarnated on the earth plane. So if once that light is distorted, it can cause that inner child to stifle in its growth, and it may not internally, you suffer from emotional stagnation and mental stagnation when it comes to growing and maturing and getting past certain childhood traumas, things that are so simple but yet so detrimental to your everyday decision making and goal achieving. It all starts with the root. It all starts with the mind. It all starts with the things you cannot see, the things that drive us without us realizing, the subconscious, the underlying issue that needs to be faced, which is inner child issue. So each group, I have pre-written some descriptions of what type of like characteristics you might have had growing up, who, like, what part of yourself that's still linked to your inner child, positive and some negative aspects of yourself that you have had growing up and that you may still portray as an adult. And also, I'm going to give you some descriptions of toxic family dynamics in which you guys might have grew up in, that it might have affected how you act today as an adult, and how you can heal those things, what messages your inner child can give you to help you heal past these things. And I'm going to give you some possible life path numbers, possible zodiac sign, moon ascending, or sun signs, anything that's in your first 3 houses. So those of you who are not into astrology, I'm gonna overexert the message again. I need for people to have an open mind when it comes to anything in life, because expansion is key to figuring out what it is what your real purpose is here. Because if you stay stuck in the box in which people have programmed for you, you'll never make it. You'll never make it. You may make it on a material level, but you'll never make it spiritually. If you make it spiritually, you may not make it materially. You need to balance the two. So that's why I want to congratulate again those who are not too big on this type of stuff and not sure about this. Thank you for giving it a chance. So let's get started. So power number 1. With the crystal clear quartz. Excuse my one nail. I tried to get it off. It wouldn't come off. So, for power number 1, the guardian archangel is, I can't quite say the name, but I'm going to try to pronounce it. Ahiel. As you can read, this archangel governs over knowledge, rediscovery, philosopher, mystic, enlightenment, procedures, wisdom, and a sense of responsibility, beneficial for retreats, facilitates the internalization process, modesty, gentleness, solitude, tranquility, favors of the meeting of man and a woman, payment of karmic debts, pacificism, refinement of the senses, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience. So through this archangel, I was able to channel some messages based off of your past personality you might have, or traits you had to have as a kid. So let's see this shit. The message I have from Archangel Ahiel. So as a kid, I'm going to go over the traits that you might have had as a kid. The possible signs, I'm going to start with the possible signs that you could be are an Aquarius, a Leo, Gemini, Libra, Capricorn, Taurus. This could be in your sun, your moon, your ascending, or your first and second house. Your life paths could be a life path 6, a life path 2, or a life path 8, or a life path 5, or you possibly are compatible or dating someone with those signs or those life paths, okay? So, pile number 1, as a kid, you possibly were easily bored. You like to learn new things. If you wasn't learning something new or getting into something, you were bored. But you were probably typically kind of nosy. You came off as nosy because you were always bored. You was always trying to find something to do. And you love learning. You like to be at school. When you wasn't at school, it's like this. I see you as a kid that if you wasn't at school, or even at school, you would get bored easily if y'all wasn't doing something. If y'all wasn't either doing work or being outside, or you know, and not able to hold conversation with your friends. Basically, if you wasn't keeping busy, you was bored. But that also made you really, really smart because you asked a lot of questions. So I feel like you like books. You love to listen to people tell stories. So as a kid, you might have been the type that always was the first to sit down when the teacher was like, you know, during either reading time or story time, when teacher was like, okay, I'm going to read this book. You were like the first one, you know, people go sit down to your mats. You was the first one sitting down you was ready, you was prepared, you feel me? You was the one that sat like right in front of the teacher when they was about to start reading. You was like, I'm ready, this gonna be good, you know what I'm saying? You were that type of kid. It likes to also tell stories yourself, so you were the type of whatever story that you learned, you were the type to have other kids come around you while you repeated the story, you know, that you were told. You look smart. You were probably always the kid that looked kind of smart. You might have had glasses, or you might have needed glasses. Growing up, you might have had a weird interest in Buddhist, nuns, something like you at a weird age, you were too young to be interested in this kind of things, but for some reason you were like interested in Buddhism and like Buddhists and like nuns. Like you kind of were interested in like how they live their lives, and you figure like how do they stay so content with doing nothing, because you are so quick, you're so fast, you gotta always be doing something, to have your head in something, to have your nose in something. Your mom might have told you a lot that you always got your nose in something. Or somebody used to tell you you got always got somebody's business. You always got your all in grown folks' business. That type of person. You might have loved some Disney. You might have been a big Disney fan, always watching your favorite shows. If you wasn't watching your favorite shows, you probably was the type of kid that had Disney on in one room, then was playing the game in the other room, and then constantly running in and out your mama room. You seem like that type of child, or whoever room you like to talk to in the house. You study running in and out their room. You the type that want to go outside but still watch TV at the same time. But see, you was the type also when your favorite show came on, especially on Disney Channel, your ass is back in this house watching this show. So, and also you was the type that you liked movies and TV shows that ended on a light note, that ended on a good note. You love. I wouldn't want to say you like love stories or love movies. You might have been the type of kid that just likes movies where the underdog wins, or the person that seems as if they wasn't going to win wins. You like to look on the bright side, or you still may be like this. You like to look on the bright side. You might have been an older child or a firstborn child. I feel like some of y'all may have had older parents or old parents, or you might have been raised by your grandparents. You always like to help around the house, or you was always the one told to do things all the time. You might find peace with talking to older people because of you being raised by old parents or grandparents. You're a deep thinker. People may think that you're an overthinker, or you may think that you're an overthinker, or you may be prone to overthinking because you like to think deeply about everything, because you ask so many questions and you feel like you want to gain so much information. And also, you may be slow to come up with plans because you have so many like perceptions and ways you want to go about doing stuff. You want to include everybody. You want to include everything. You know what I'm saying? You want to cross all your T's and your I's. Sometimes you may be too detailed focused, so it may cause you to take a little long at setting plans or whatever. And or you try to make multiple plans. You like to have A, B, C, D, and E type plans. You like to have a bunch of plans going on at one time, just in case something fails. You might have came out sometimes as soft-spoken, or you might be the type of person that seems as though you're talking at a normal tone, but you really are talking low. You always hear people say, "Talk up, baby." Like you always been told to talk up. And what else? You don't like being yelled at. You might have been the type that hates yelling because you're so soft spoken. Like, or when somebody starts to yell at you, you become soft spoken, and you don't like to be yelled at. And you try to stay modest as a kid. You might have tried to stay modest, or you might have tried to make it seem like you didn't have a lot of money. Tried to play the role of the kid that had money but didn't act as if they didn't have any. Um, um, you may find peace at being alone. Like you may notice at times, even if you have a big family, you may notice at times that when you're all by yourself, like you cherish the moments when you are completely by yourself because you're always around other people. Or you may be afraid of being alone because it's either one extreme: either you cannot wait to get by yourself because you have always have people around you, or you don't like to be by yourself because you're used to always having people around you. So, what else? What else? What else? What else? So this group now, I meant to give this warning prior video, but I might go ahead and post a little clip just to forewarn people that get easily emotionally triggered. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not the type of person to come to for advice if you have soft feelings. I'm not that person. I'm very straightforward. I'm very honest. I'm very blunt because I feel as though it causes more harm when you withhold information over situations that require patience and that require understanding. If it automatically requires you to have a deep understanding or a compassion for it, it's better to go out with it then, so that way whatever follow emotions can be easily fixed, can be easily sorted and resorted in its specific places. So I'm not the type of person that you can ask for advice if you know your feelings get hurt very easily. I'm the type of person that I can openly talk about things about myself and, not feel harmed, even the most scary things. Like, I know I don't just tell everybody my business, but my past is what made me who I am today. So I'm not ashamed of anything I've done. But what I don't like is people who misconstrue the past, people who don't tell the complete truth, including what they played in it, and what happened on the other side from both perspectives. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I don't care for. But other than that, I'm going to say this: there are some things I'm going to mention in each pile that may be slightly triggering. So I'm going to talk about some emotional, sexual, and physical abuse. So if you're not over these things, just a forewarning that I'm going to bring this up. So if you want to catch the message and you may feel like you may be a little too sensitive, this is your warning. So some of you guys may be bisexual, and it comes about a way where you may come off hypersexual, and you may have hypersexuality issues where you're either a man and you may come off very feminine, not being gay, but you just come off feminine. Either you are bisexual or you may be perceived, people may perceive you as bisexual, or you may have gotten picked on from people assuming that you were bisexual or you are bisexual. Or you may be a woman and you may be very masculine. And that can go in any spectrum, either dressing like a boy, being tomboyish, being masculine in how you talk, how you carry yourself, how you think, how you walk, just anything that gives off the energy of masculinity. And that don't always go with how you dress. It also just exudes just your overall energy around other people. So you might have some hypersexuality issues where you may be a male, like I said, and you may act extremely feminine. Or you may be a female and you may have extreme masculine tendencies. So you might have got picked on for these things. You might have got picked on for actually being bisexual. And I feel as though as well you might have been raised by a stepmom or a stepdad, or you have both a stepmom and also a stepdad, or you may have same-sex parents. One is a stepmom and one is your biological mom, and one is a stepmom. Or you may have the other way around, vice versa. Take it how it resonates. And that's another thing. Take what resonates. Everything that I say is a general message. So there's multiple people that's going to be watching it and taking things from this. So take what only aligns and sounds and makes sense to you. If it doesn't make sense, you don't have to pay it no mind. It may be for somebody else. So just take what's yours. So you may also have been spoiled. I'm feeling like you was a spoiled kid as well. Like that's why you wanted to always come off as modest around your friends, because you still wanted to be liked. You didn't want people to think because you had money you thought you was better than them. You didn't ever want people to use you for your money either, or the fact that they, you might have been slightly select. You might have had a decent amount of friends, but at the same time, you might have been a little selective of who you saw as a friend, because your parents might have spoiled you a lot. You might have had step parents that spoiled you, biological parents that spoiled you, and you also might have been a picky eater, or you might be the type to eat weird, like you like to mix different weird combos of food. You may be prone to, as a kid, you might have seen a lot of paranormal activity, shadow people. You might have always felt like somebody was watching you. You might have also had dreams of past loved ones, like before they actually passed away. You might have also saw past loved ones after they passed away, like literally had dreams about them the night that they passed, or the night of the funeral, or the day of the funeral, or any time around the funeral period. You might have also suffered from wanting approval, wanting to be liked. This might have been subconsciously, or it might have been very upfront, but I feel like it was very obvious that you were the type that liked to be liked. You might have self-esteem issues, You may have body issues. I feel like you may have you might have had some body issues, or you still do have body issues from being either picked on for not being fully developed yet, or being picked on for being overly developed. Um, and if you're a dude, I feel like you were picked on for being small, being short, or being really, really slender. Just looking way smaller than the age that you originally was. And also, I forgot, girl, I wrote something down. Oh, said sorry a lot. You might have been the type to always say sorry. Or just on some random, like if somebody sneezes, you be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm so sorry I just did that. Like, or something like, just weird, okay? So let me get into the family dynamic. The toxic family dynamic that you might have been raised up around was you might have not known one of your birth parents. Either you might not have known your mom, you might not have known your dad, or you might not have known either. So that's why I said earlier that you might have been raised by your grandparents. And maybe possibly the people that did raise you, if you wasn't raised by a grandparent, you might have been raised by an older auntie or an older family member in general. And they might have withheld information from you about who your mother or your father was, or who they was, or what they were like. Um, you might have had family members or grew up around people in the house that stole, that robbed for a living, or that's how they got money or brought money into the homes, because they stole from people or they robbed people. You might have dealt with a lot of people that were fake in your family. You might have close cousins that you were really cool with, but they turned out to be fake, or you knew they were fake, or that was just something that was like a constant or common thing for your family members to be fake towards each other, and get together like during holidays and act like nothing is wrong. You might have had a lot of might have had a authority figure that have personal paranoid personality disorder. You might have had someone like that where their attitude was really, weird. One minute they thinking somebody is looking through their things, and then the next minute they saying that they quitting their job for random reasons because they felt like somebody was stalking them or something, when it won't even be the case. You might have been grew up around people who are covert narcissists, meaning that they were narcissists, but they were very passive aggressive. They played as if everything was okay, but then they'll turn around and do something to hurt you in an emotional way, or they might steal from you, or they might let you borrow things, and then whenever they were mad at you, they took it back. Um, Let me see. And also, you might have been molested by a trusted family member, somebody that probably paid the bills, or step parent that helped pay the bills, or one of rotating partners of whoever that was watching you, whoever your authority person was. They had like a change of partners often, or they might have had a change of a partner, and the person that they switched out with was a molester, or you might have grown to trust them and they molested you, and they probably would bribe you with things, bribe you with money, or the fact that they paid the bills in the house kind of made you feel as though you couldn't, speak on that because your parent might not have been working. This person was the working person that's bringing home the food, bringing home the bill money and whatnot. Also, your authority figure might have had a good, or they might have had a good job, but they were lazy. So when they would work, they would just come straight home and don't really like pay you any attention, or they'll pay their partner attention and not you too much, or they were just too tired, period, from work to pay you any attention, and it made them kind of lazy, and they didn't clean or cook too much for you, um, or they might have had a minimum wage job growing up, and they worked a lot because they had a job that didn't pay much hourly, so it caused them to always be gone, and they were always on a budget, or y'all had to be on a budget at times, and the only time y'all were able to have a lot of things in the house was when you had a step parent, or when your whoever the person that was watching your authority figure had a partner. um, when they were in a bad mood, or when things probably weren't too good between their significant other,
they would take it out on you. Only time that things were going well in the home were when they were in a good relationship. You might have had divorced parents possibly, and that might have been also why some of that things have occurred. You might have grew up around people who were scammers, who taught you how to scam, or who taught you how to steal, who taught you how to talk your way out of out of problems, out of people out of their money. You might have grew up around some people that were manipulative, that like to talk you out of your money, or you might have, like at an early age, you might have had cousins who would what they like the word hoe you. They used to hoe you a lot. Um, you might also have had a authority figure that was always used for money. Like they partners always used them for money. Maybe they had the money instead, and they were used all the time. So they kind of left them not having much to give you, or they did still give you things, but it's just the fact that it caused emotional friction between you and them because of them having this using partner draining their energy, and it caused, you know, passive aggressiveness towards you. They might have been angry drunks, or they might have just did drugs on the side, or self medicated often, left you alone often, and they might have been bipolar. This is just the toxic family dynamic. Okay, so also these are some words that you may ring a bell to you. So you may be a healer, you may be a psychic, you may be an empath, you may be very emotional at times, or you may have erratic emotions that are up and down, up and down, up and down. And in this life, from your inner child, the parts of yourself you may have to grow, or you may know that you may have to grow, is your confidence, your persistence, your discipline, your assertiveness, and you may have to work on your self-esteem. Okay, so this is the dynamic here. So with Bishop C.H. Manson. So let me open this really quickly so I can see. The description again, because I kind of remember, but I like to go back and read so I can be refreshed on the card. So the scripture for this card says, "So whoever knows the right thing to do and fails to do it, for him it is a sin." So I feel as though, because this is the Hierophant in regular tarot and Rider Waite classic tarot. So intuitively, like I went over the toxic family dynamic, molestation. Okay, so I feel as though you being molested by this trusted family member or authority figure left you feeling left out in the cold. You lost the fun, or the excitement that you had for life, the excitement for learning and getting into new adventures and new things were kind of stripped away from you. Your power, you might have felt as though your power was taken from you, your innocence was taken from you. You might have felt like you weren't good enough, that something was taken from you, and it might have caused you, after that happened, that might have caused the paranormal activity to might have been intensified. You might have had a lot of out of body experiences, or you might have felt as though you were possessed at times. You would wake up either doing, this might have been a molestation that happened over time because the person lived in the house with you for an extended amount of time, and you might have suppressed, or you might have waited a while to tell the other person or someone about the molestation. You were really trying to withhold the information, but it became, at some point in your life, it became too much for you. I keep wanting to say possessed. You might have became very depressed. and it made your mood your mood swung. Your mood swung from being a very cheering and uplifted person to a very downtrodden person, someone who was discontent and bored, like this card number 4 says. You might have been discontent and bored. So, the Bishop C.H. Manson talks about a person that must humble themselves through their guides, their teachers, their elders. So you might have finally came out to someone that an older person that you trusted, and it might have gave you somewhat of the strength to be honest about what happened with your family, because with the Bishop C.H. Manson, it says that this is, it's not an easy task to step up and stand up for yourself sometimes when you have suppressed things for so long, when you have beaten yourself down with something that had happened to you that was not your fault. For a long time you might have felt like it was your fault that this happened. You might have felt like you gave it to them. You know what I'm saying? You made yourself vulnerable or open to this. What happened, you deserve this. So you must learn to, okay, how can I put this? Okay, so with that being said, it kind of fractured your foundation of trust when it comes to other people. You feel as though if you trust somebody a little bit, that they will take your power away. And it says this new moon in Virgo, a time to give rather than take. So internally, you feeling like you're tired of giving so much to people. You're tired of feeling like you're being taken advantage of. It makes you feel, or it inflames you, or it makes you feel upset, or it puts you back in that inner child state of feeling vulnerable, feeling like the child that was taken advantage of. So what you're being asked to by the discontent and boredom, the Bishop C.H. Manson, and a time to give rather than take. If I was to read it going in this direction of right from left, it's saying that you must walk away from the illusion that you're not good enough. You may have to step back into this dark space and analyze these feelings. Give yourself some time to gather the strength and the confidence that you're good enough. You must sit with these spirits, or what you may feel is demons that had been attached to you since this incident had happened to you, that might have affected how you make decisions, that might have affected how you love and trust and open up to someone. You may have a partner that's a Virgo. You may have a mother that's a Virgo. You may have a partner or a mother, or you may have Virgo in your chart as your moon sign. If if it wasn't one of the signs that was listed that I named in the beginning, you must step away from the illusion. You must understand that everything glitters is not gold. So at times, yes, when you felt as though you could trust this person, they made it seem like they had, so much positive things to give you. And in turn, they took more than what they were giving to you. In reality, emotionally, spiritually, they took too much from you. So you need to learn to give yourself that back. Enlighten yourself. Understand that inner child, like I said originally, is the original spark. That spark never dies. It may become dimmed, but it never dies. But the only person that can dim it is you. When you allow the heavy emotions, heavy darkness of the past to overshadow your inner light. You can't do that. You must give yourself time to heal. And don't judge yourself. It's a lot that you want to do. It's a lot of benefits. It's a lot of open fields and opportunities for you ahead, but the issue is you keep getting in front of your own way because for some reason you just keep feeling like this is too good to be true. You must stand back in your power. So the affirmation for the dynamic, which I said before, is feeling like you're good enough, stepping away from the past, stepping away from the molestation or the hurt or the toxicity, the toxic emotions attached to that molestation, and understand that you are good enough and you must give yourself that. If you know that you are good enough, you must act as if you're good enough. Give yourself the self-care and the self-love that you deserve. So the affirmation: I am strong, I am grounded, I am powerful, I am like a cross between a dinosaur and a tank. Okay, so yeah. So the affirmation card for the dynamic: I am it says power. I am strong. I am grounded. I am powerful. I am like a cross between a dinosaur and a tank, but not a tank that's used for war. I am a tank. I am like a peaceful, loving dino tank who feels so strong it doesn't need to do anything but be. That's a message of just be yourself. Be yourself, be true to your emotions, be true to where you stand, be true to you. All of those positive aspects of you as a child that you still may possess as an adult right now, that is going to be your key to your success. You have to tap back into that inner child. Heal those blockages. Heal those energies that are attached to your foundation of trust, because the foundation of trust not only keeps you still and grounded, it keeps the people around you grounded and still. It keeps you grounded and still within yourself. It keeps the trust within yourself grounded, stable, because when you don't trust other people, the people around us are reflections of us. So your family is your reflection. That's your most closest reflection, is your family. So if you cannot trust them, then that means you cannot trust yourself. But trusting yourself is all you honestly need to do. Because with trusting yourself, you'll know what right steps to take, what instincts that you need to maneuver around that will keep you from allowing toxic people back into your life. Because sometimes, because we trust those people, we have a habit of still letting those untrusting people back in close to us because they're our family member, because the people that allowed, or the roof that you might have been living under that allowed that molestation to happen, might have done the same thing, allowed this person to still come around you as if nothing happened or as if it's not a big deal. That does not mean you have to do the same. Okay, so moving on. So this is the past energy that might have affected, or that is coming into the message that wants to help you move past this. So we have your hard work is paying off, new moon in Capricorn. We have Pa, which is the moon. And we have 8, accelerating motion. 8s require infinity. That's the coming together of timelines, the lower timeline being merged with the higher timeline and becoming a loop, meaning that you won't just have past on loop. You will have your past in tune with your future, and those two will merge and give you the best higher vibrational timeline that you can imagine your life going. So accelerate the motion towards your goals, your dreams. Boom. So you might have just gotten this urge to want to start something new. You might have just gotten this urge to just say, fuck the dumb shit. I want to move past my past. I want to get over these past hurts. I want to take the next step of becoming an adult and mature myself, because I see every time I look outside myself to gain some clarity and maturity, I get put back down in this same space of feeling like I'm not good enough because I'm putting myself in somebody else's shoes where I do not fit. So subconsciously, you know that there's work to be done, or you may have been doing some shadow work, or you might have been considering doing shadow work to heal yourself from these subconscious energies, these emotions. Now, what we won't do is fake the funk. Now, if you're having a bad day at times and things are just coming up for you left and right, emotional triggers are coming up for you left and right, acknowledge them. Acknowledge them and pray over them, pray through them. Ask, this is your guardian angel, or this is the angel that wants to come through and help you work through those problems, and that is I hail, I hail. He wants to enlighten you. He wants to shine light on the past so that you can transmute these energies and you can get rid of them. They want this one here, this archangel wants you to pay off your karmic debt. So whatever things that you went through, those are just a past life situations that you had to relive. You had to relive and re-experience on the earthly plane so that way you can move past that on a spiritual level, because sweeping shit under the rug never benefited anybody in any situation, especially family dynamics. That just allows an infestation in the root of the family tree. So you might, like I said, you might have had family members that played this role where they're friendly. So you may have experienced a situation that might have kind of put you on an alertness or a spiritual awakening almost, because you may have came back in contact or seen or have been contacted by someone who betrayed you. Might be the person that molested you, or the family member of someone that molested you, or a trusted family member of the person that molested you might have reached back out to you, being very friendly, being very opening. You can, instead of internalizing it like you did before and just play friendly back and play that fake personality role like you were taught growing up. Instead, you can find this as an opportunity to, you can also be friendly and stay cordial, but use this as an opportunity to clear away these past emotions. So this is where you can come up and put blame where it goes. Don't come off defensive. Don't come off as if you are holding a grudge. And also, do not come off as if it's nothing wrong with it. Be completely honest with this person about how the situation might have affected you, how extreme. Even bring, not to make them feel bad, but bring the extremes of how the things that you have experienced with this person, or this molestation, or this situation, or this whatever the situation was that caused you to mistrust people, and this person might have had a aspect or a role in it. Take this opportunity to not suppress your feelings, but shine a light to this person, because I feel like this person may not have been the molester, or maybe they were the molester, or they're related to this molester, and they may not have known the full story of what happened to you. So you may want to tell them. This may help you release the burden. This may help you breathe deep. It may help you release, So you may have Capricorn in your chart. You may be dealing with a Capricorn. You may have a Capricorn moon sign, or during the new moon in Capricorn, you may have met this person or saw this person, or you may run into this person whenever the new moon is in Capricorn again. So your hard work is paying off. So that just lets me know that do the hard work, do the hard part, rip the band-aid off, have this conversation, have this clarity, and so that way you can free yourself from the situation. This person may actually team up with you and help you work through these problems. Okay, they may help you actually go deeper and go further into the root of what is going on. They may shine some light on their part of things you may not have known about the situation to give you some clarity. Okay, so this one is friendliness, the affirmation. Whenever I smile, I make someone's day better. What a cool way to buy happiness for free. Today, I will remember what awesome power I hold, and I'll take joy in the improving lines simply by giving away grins like crazy. No, in a pinch, money will also work. So that's crazy. He say, I will smile knowing the awesome power I hold. And that's the dynamic card affirmation. The main dynamic is power. Staying grounded in your power, understanding that you are still a good person. You are still deserving of love and your blessings being given to you. You are a deserving of healing your heart from this situation. So in order to help you heal your heart and make this transition or this healing process easier, we don't want you to fake happiness. That's not what I want. Your spirit guides want, your ancestors want. We want you to be true to yourself, but we want you to do it from an unconditional loving way. So in a way to do that is think about all the times that your wittiness, your intelligence, your outgoingness, your introspectiveness, your deep thinking has actually benefited you, has blessed you, has at times got you past that anxiety, that fear, that distrust that you have grown through this incident or situation, a toxic karmic situation. Think about the times that you actually made it when you think you wasn't going to make it, when those feelings of anxiety and a low self-esteem tried to creep over you and block your blessings, the times when you were able to surpass it by putting on a smile on your face and remembering that you're a God's child and you are blessed. This is what your ancestors and your angels and your spirit guides want you to do. They want you to remember that you are blessed, and that every instinct that you get to put your best foot forward and be honest and be truthful about how you feel and what is going on with you, it will make you smile every little bit at a time, because you are putting in the hard work. You are deserving of this peace, this love, this light, this enlightenment. You deserve better, and you've been knowing this. So subconsciously, you know what it is that you want to say. Subconsciously, you know what it is that you have to say. And through being honest with yourself and listening to your intuition, that is key to getting the proper words out, everything will fall for you in a very quick way. It's like, I feel like the minute that you make your real feelings known, the minute that you get past the past hurt and you have this opportunity to get clarity and to get closure, this will set you free. You will be like a Cheshire cat. Your ass won't be able to stop smiling, because you're going to feel just so damn good about yourself, because you should. You have a lot of accomplishments. You might have accomplished a lot between your being in a childhood and now. You might have accomplished a whole lot in which you have been very proud of yourself, but deep down you might have not been able to be as proud as you want to be, because of these inner child issues that is still lingering in the background of your mind, of your subconscious. So that's what I'm here for, to talk you through and walk you through the steps that you may need to take to work through that. So I'm trying to find the description of Paul really quickly. So the scripture for Paul is the moon. And for the precious fruits brought forth by the sun, and for the precious things put forth by the moon. Deuteronomy 33, 14. So you might want to go and check your moon sign. I feel like wherever the moon is in your chart, particularly whatever house your Capricorn is, they may shine some light on how you can have this conversation, or what it is you may need to say, or how you may need to go about saying this. I feel like also you may need to balance your masculine and feminine energy. Like I said earlier, I feel like this group have some hypersexuality issues where they may be mistaken as bisexual, or may actually be bisexual, might have been molested by a trusted family member that was a bisexual person, or it was a woman, or two people that were a woman and a man, might have been molested by a woman and also a man, and that made you feel as though you might be bisexual, and you may have some underlying issues with your sexuality because of what happened, and that has caused you to be in imbalance with your masculine and feminine energy. So you may have some underlying toxic masculinity traits. You may have some underlying toxic femininity traits, okay? It says, when this card shows up on the reading, you might not know everything it is to know about the situation at hand. So that's just telling me that there are some things that will be revealed to you when you have this conversation with these people or this person. You may get a veil moved from your eyes. It may allow or open the door for you to reveal these deep dark secrets, because like I say, this person that you're going to be speaking with may not have known exactly how deep or how serious the situation was. So don't let anxiety, and depression fall suit after this conversation, because I feel as though some of you want to feel happy, or you may start to feel relieved, at the thought of having this conversation and getting this off your chest, but then it also makes you feel scared, and it makes you feel like, damn, what if I start some stuff? Don't worry about starting anything, because you're speaking your truth. You will be protected, okay? So you might have had some delusional thinking around the situation. You might have tried to suppress it, tried to block it out, might have tried to rationalize what happened. Um, you might have realized that the person that's involved or you may be speaking with was fake, or they may realize or come to you how they realize they might have came off as fake, or you might need to tell them how they seem fake, you know what I'm saying, based on the situation. The deception, or they may have a misconception of this person. You know what I'm saying? Y'all may have to sit together and put y'all minds together so they can see that this person that they may have thought that was a good person really wasn't, because they did these things to you. Also, you may see signs before this person shows up, so you may hear somebody randomly say their name, or you might see their name show up somewhere. You may have had dreams about them before they show up. And there's some dreams that you may need to tap into or remember that will kind of help you get this situation picked up off the ball, okay? So let me go to the last part, and then I may shuffle an extra advice card to close it out, possibly. Maybe, I don't know yet. I know I'm still going to do some automatic writing real quick. So last part. So your future energy coming in. So you may right now not only be let me talk. So you may right now be trying to decide on which path to go, which direction to go. You may be really good at speaking, singing, and you also may be good at working with your hands, or you may have a business plan that you want to do. So you may be torn between wanting to focus on your musical career or focusing on a business career. You're kind of like on the path of doing both, but you don't know which to put more of your energy into right at this time, because both of the things that you're trying to do require a lot of your dedication. And also, you may have a relationship, a same-sex relationship, that you may be hiding, or you may be interested in someone of the same sex and you want to pursue it, but you don't know how to go about it, because you might not be open with your sexuality, or you might have just came out, and you might be out and open and ready to date someone of the same sex, or not even of the same sex. You might just want to come out and tell someone that you've been knowing that you're interested. This person may be a Virgo or a Capricorn, or they may share similar signs that I just named at the beginning of the video. You may already feel love for this person, and you want to confess your love. You want to stand your ground. You want to start a foundation with this person, but you haven't. You may have an issue believing that it's possible. You may not trust that it's possible at this time. But first, what you're being asked to by Spirit with this courting card, you're being asked by Spirit to balance your root chakra and your throat chakra. And also, they want you to know that you either side of the road that you want to go on, either music or focus on your business. Either way, you're still going to be supported. So you can find a way to do both at the same time.
Your ancestors want you to pray. They want you to ask them for guidance. Ask this guardian angel for guidance. Maybe get you a clear quartz crystal. Meditate with that crystal to give you guidance on how to do both at the same time, because it's very possible, because you're very talented. You may also start this business or be able to start a business with this partner, or you may start partnerships with people that you didn't think you would be able to start partnership, like the person that I just mentioned that you may have the conversation with. This clarity or this closure you may get, this family member or relative related to the untrusted family member may be the person that you start this business with or be in partnership with. And they also, may be your love interest. Who knows? I mean, hopefully they're not related to you, but yeah. And if that's it, hey, that's just y'all business. So let's see the affirmation for this one. It says love. Love is a many splendored thing. Today I will notice and appreciate at least 3 of those splendors, like the fact that puppies make me feel like a parent, or the surge of self-congratulation I feel when I sink a 3-point trash can basket shot on the first try, or about the chills when I'm willing to sing along to whatever your favorite song is. So, like I say, you may want to write a song about this person as well to confess your love to them. You might want to write a song about them, or you might have written a song about them, and you just like want to kind of like tell them through the song. Your third eye is going to be activated soon, or it has been activated, or is in the process of being activated, so that way you can become clear with what it is that you want to do and how you can move forward. Like I say, to clear or to help you stay grounded or to help ground yourself, you may want to do some grounding meditation. Go on YouTube and search root chakra guided meditation. Ground your root, align your chakras, and then maybe through sleep, possibly through sleep, you will be able to come with this song or way you want to come forth with this love offer to this person, or vice versa. The minute that you start to come up with a business plan, that's when a person may come towards you, that they love you and that they want to be with you, and it's standing your ground, meaning that standing your truth. If you want to be with them, be honest. Do not, I repeat, do not do the same thing that you did in the past. We're healing this inner child issue, so your inner child wants to tell you you are deserving of love. Whoever it is you want to love, you have that right to love that person. But you must stand in your truth. You must be authentic with yourself. You must be truthful with this person. You don't need to be forthright about your past with whoever this person is, whoever this person you're interested in, but you must be honest. You may not pour a lot. Don't put a lot on them at one time, but do be honest with them about their past. So let me give you, I'm going to shuffle on site, because this first part is going over a little while. I ain't gonna lie, this little first part may be a good 30-40 minutes long. So your advice, spirit, the ancestors for group 1, power 1, that resonated with the crystal clear quartz and may have the guardian angel. Ooh, okay, I got 2. Ideal partnership, and you have strength. Oh my God, that's cool. So, strength. You are hereby declared a strong, resilient warrior of heroic proportions. Enjoy your battles, whatever they are, because you are guaranteed to come through them stronger, brighter, and more compassionate. And based on what I know from mythology, probably with gray hair and a 6-pack. So that just tells me is that. And then I have a third card. I didn't even realize that card came out, but that just tells me that you will persevere through this problem. If you take my advice If you listen to your ancestors, if you meditate and receive the information that you get through meditation, it will give you the inner strength to have this conversation, to receive this closure, understanding that you're worthy of this closure and knowing what to say to move and process this closure. You will receive strength, which is the Leo, will be the Leo. You may be a Leo, or this person that you may have this conversation with may be a Leo. So, ideal partnership. I am rare and I am a precious find. And in my brilliant, okay, let me start off. Ideal partnership. I am a rare and precious find, and I am, in my brilliance will be reflected back to me when I am paired with my true match. My ideal partnerships and working relationships are easy and free flowing. I deserve greatness because I am greatness. And to paraphrase Rumi, what I'm looking for is also looking for me. In fact, he or she might be paraphrasing Rumi right now. So that lets me know that you have a twin flame, or you may have a soulmate coming in, someone that you will be able to heal with and grow with, and also that will help you receive clarity and help you stay grounded. That's a blessing. So yeah, whoever this person is, they are your true match. So we have options, but this came out in reverse. I'm gonna turn it around. So that means you may need to eliminate some additional unnecessary options. You may need to eliminate some options out of your dating life right now, because if you feel like it's this person, it is this person. That's what Spirit want me to tell you. It said options. As I'm open to the abundant possibilities of my life path, I'm reminded that I always have unlimited options. Life is a buffet, and I allow myself to choose whatever makes me happiest without limiting thoughts like, you can't put mac and cheese on your baked potato. So that also confirms with me, like I said, that do not allow your past to make you feel as if you are not worthy, because you are very much so worthy of this love, of this career opportunity, of abundance of all sorts and of all kind. You deserve all of that, okay? And also, like I said, you may not need to or have to reach out and find other options. You may not have to cloud your thoughts of this person, because I feel like some of you might have tried to uh, clear your thoughts or block your thoughts of how much you feel about this person. You may not feel uneasy with your feelings. You may actually be falling in love and in denial about it, and you may not know how to say it, so you're trying to avoid feeling in love, or you may want to trick yourself into thinking that you're not in love. You want to look away from this love by keeping your options open. But Spirit wants me to tell you, you do not have to keep your options open, because every person that you run into that's not this person that you know you're in love with will not satisfy you. You still will be discontent, and you still will feel bored with these people. So do yourself a favor. Give yourself some time to heal from your past. As much time as you need, but do not take forever, because Spirit will move you if you take too long and stay too stagnant. Give yourself some time to work on yourself. Give yourself some self-love. Treat yourself to some things that make you happy and make you feel empowered. The automatic notes that I felt compelled to write. You are so special to me. I want to see you how you see me, and goosebumps. So I feel like this person gives you goosebumps, or you used to get goosebumps a lot when you were little. I want to see you how you see yourself. Um, I feel like this person sees a lot of potential in you, but you don't see, or you see a lot of potential in them that you feel like they don't see, or you want to reflect off of their potential and help that grow yourself, or you see them as inspirational in a way. You were so special to me, so you may find this person special, or they may think you're so special to them. You might have been treated like you were special when you were little. Yeah, so I feel as though if you take my advice and you meditate, listen to your intuition, work on grounding yourself and clearing your mind of all these negative thoughts, forgive yourself, love yourself, build your foundation of trust, this relationship, this business, everything you try to achieve will go through.
so fast, so quickly, it will blow your socks off. So, thank you for listening. Have a blessed day. I love you guys, and love and light. Okay, hello, group two. Hi, I'm glad that you chose to come and join me and see what it is that the Lord has for you. I feel like this group here is very aware or come into the awareness that you are having a spiritual awakening. I feel like this group here is starting to be open to spirituality now. You're starting to see the signs and the synchronicities that the universe has been sending you, and it's making you question some things about your past. It's making you have some realizations about your past. You are starting to realize that you are magical, that you're powerful. You're starting to realize that things always are going to work out in your favor, and you might have started being interested in the law of attraction. I'm sorry, let me spray. Clear the energy here from the other group. There you go. You might have just now becoming more in tune with the universe, and you might have started to realize how the universe has been helping you boost your confidence in your manifestation abilities by sending you signs and synchronicities. You're able to see them clearly. I feel like also some of you guys might have started a new job, might have had a promotion, might have started a business, might have became a leader of some sort in something. Not sure exactly. It could be anything. Anything you feel like you took the lead in, you've became a leader or a house mother of something, an organization, a group, a project. You are. I still feel like you're well respected. You're starting to. Spirituality might have been brought about through friends or people that you have just came in your life suddenly that just seems as if you've known them all your life. You're starting to meet your what we call soul family. And also, I feel like you have received a lot of rewards lately, either at work or just from God of some sort. You might have been receiving blessings left and right. You just like the universe really must, be setting something up for me. Um, Let me start off with the possible zodiac signs and life paths. Possible zodiac signs or, ooh, what did I write? Possible zodiac signs may be Taurus, Pisces, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Scorpio, Capricorn. That could be for your first three: sun, moon, ascending. If you're not into astrology, you're late, you're lame. Do your research. Check your birth chart out. It's free. Life path, same thing. It's free. Google. Spend your time doing that. You're stuck in the house. You ain't doing much anyway. Life paths this may resonate with would be a life path 1, life path 2, life path 3, possible life path 4. So, or they may be somebody that you're compatible with that has these signs or these life paths. So, I'm going to name some qualities or characteristics about you that you've had as a child that you may still have as an adult. So, you seem like the type of child that take things to the extreme. I feel like you might have a big family. You might have been raised in a big family. You might take jokes to the extreme. You might have been the type of kid that joked all the time, like you never knew how to stop playing. And when somebody finally did tell you to sit down and stop fucking playing, you got very upset and you might have threw a temper tantrum. I feel also that you might have loved Legos a lot. You like any type of thing that you could put together, toys, anything that you had to assemble. You enjoyed doing that, assembling things. Probably you might have assembled a lot of things with the
with somebody that you stay with, an authority figure. You might have been taught how to build things at a young age. I feel like you liked action figures, and I feel like this is for if you're a female or a male. I feel like you liked action figures. You like playing outside, getting dirty. You like to climb trees. You like to build forts. You like to um, puzzles. You like playing like Candy Crush, like playing a lot of games where it causes you to build or use your mind or use your hand. You might have been into sports at an early age. You might be athletic. You might be a cheerleader. You might have been in the band. You might have been into music at a young age. You have a slender body or a well-developed body, or you might have been the type to early developed, or all three of those things. You strangely liked Bill Nye the Science Guy. I don't know why I felt the need to write this, but I was told this at the time. Some of y'all might have had a big interest in Bill Nye the Science Guy. Like, y'all might have been major Big Nye the Science Guy fans. Y'all might have loved watching Bob the Builder for some reason. You might have had a lot of Bob the Builder toys or something, or you might a lot of to wanted to be like Bob the Builder. Maybe he interests you. That show might interest you how he puts things together. Um, um, you may be good at critical thinking. You're a quick thinker. You might have been very truthful, always been truthful, or still is. You might be bad at lying. You might be quick to come up with a lie, but the lie that you be telling don't be a good one. I still like you one of them kids that if your mama was about to whoop you, you said whatever you thought you needed to say to get out that ass whooping. Um, I also feel like um, you might not have been too good at reading. Either you've been really, really good with reading, or you've been really, really bad at reading. One or the other. Um, you might have started walking, or you might have been told that you started walking at an early age. You might have suffered from some night terrors. You might be the child in the family that is the most trusted, or you are the most trusted person in your family, or you used to be the most trusted person in your family. You might be a middle child, or you may be close to a middle child. Um, you might be the life of the party. You might be a joker, or you funny. Like I say, you like to pull pranks all the time, even when it's not necessary. You try to make the best out of a bad situation. You always like to lighten the mood, break the silence with jokes. You might have been very extroverted, or still is. You like to you quick to admit when you're wrong because you know you can't lie too well. Um, told you quick to tell on yourself and others. So if you feel like you're being involved with something that is you being put in the middle of something, you're quick to tell on yourself, or you're quick to shine light to the situation. Um, you used to be very sharing. You were the type that always was quick to offer a hand, offer help. You always like doing favors for people. You may receive gratitude in helping people with things. You used to be the type to break up fights. You might have been your grandparents' favorite child. You might have been treated as a golden child growing up. Um, you might have been the type of child that was sharing on the attention, got given all the attention, while the other children might have been treated differently. Um, you used to have to break up a lot of sibling fights, or parent and sibling fights. You were a leader in school. You might have been also the class clown or the teacher's pet, or both. You were the class clown when the teacher wasn't in the room, but when they came in the room, you was the teacher's pet. Where you may always used to work in the office. I feel like some of you worked in the office at school. You always weirdly had a belief in angels. You used to love like staring at buildings or something, or maybe you still do like to stare at buildings. Like you like the way buildings are made, how tall they is. You know, you always have been interested in how they made buildings. You may be a busybody. You might have been a busybody, or still is a busybody, moving around all the time. You can't sit still. You always want to go somewhere. Always want something to do. You always want to see what's the next best thing, the next new thing. You used to be the type of child that stayed up all night. You like to have sleepovers. You always want to sleep over at somebody's house, and you would never go to sleep. You'd probably be the last person to sleep. Um, you used to talk your way out of trouble. You were good at talking your way out of trouble. You normally
I don't know what that is. What did I write? What did I write? I'm just gonna skip over that because I don't understand what I had wrote. You like birthday parties. You might have started going out to clubs at an early age, sneaking to clubs at an early age, um, things like that. So I'm gonna go over your toxic family dynamics. So these are just descriptions of what you may have experienced growing up, the dynamic, the toxic family dynamic you may have been risen from, um, um, discrimination. So I feel like your family might have suffered from some type of discrimination, or you might have had or experienced discrimination in your life. Um, Racial profiling of some sort, somebody in your family, or you have experienced racial profiling. Not only that, you might have been homeless at a point in time in your life, or most of your childhood. You might have been like very impoverished. Like if you were living in Section 8, you were probably the worst. You were broker than the basic person in Section 8. Like, and this again, I'm gonna give a trigger warning. I'm gonna say some things that may hit a nerve. If you know you're the type that is extremely sensitive, all I'm gonna say is buckle up, sweet cheeks, because I'm the type of person that I'm gonna give it to you straight. Because there's nothing in your past that you should be ashamed about. Because you're not your past, you're not your future. You are the present. You are the creator of your reality. So just because you didn't have the authority or maybe didn't have the awareness that you could create your situation or reality back then does not mean now you cannot take responsibility, especially if you are an adult. You are responsible for where your life goes now. So I'm just going to be honest and straightforward, because in order to heal, we must purge what is no longer needed. So honesty is the best policy for me. That's the only policy that I go from. So I'm going to say some things that may trigger or hit a nerve. That is just your warning. So let me move on. So you like I say, you like to admit when you're wrong. You like to break up fights and things like that. So yeah, you might have been very poor. You might have grew up very, very poor. Like I'm talking about dirty clothes all the time. Like you might have even been talked about for being dirty. Like you just, your parents, I feel like you grew up in a family where everybody was kind of poor or on the same poverty or financial level, and but everybody still stole from each other. You might have grew up around a lot of people who, a lot of family members who stole from other family members, or off really jealous stealing between family members. You might have grew up around a parent that didn't that had bad money problems, or bad with money, had bad choices, priorities with money. Um, they might have withheld money from you, or like say if they worked a job, they would be quick to buy themselves something nice, and they would make you get the scraps, or they would let you use it or see it after they've already used it or wore it out, or they might purposely give it back to you messed up. They also, you might have grew up with a parent that um, never looked out for the home first. Their priorities was bad. They might have bought Jordans over paying the rent. They might have been a type to be very crab in the barrel. Might have been raised by a crab in the barrel, around crab in the barrel type people. Um, just bad priorities just off. Might have had anger issues. Might have been raised around some people with anger issues. A lot of people in your home, I feel like, are hot headed. A lot of y'all have anger issues. There was a lot of physical and emotional abuse. A lot of random ass whoopings. I feel like cursing out, um, bad talking at an early age. You might have been called out of your name at a very early age, like very early, like before you were able to even say the words yourself. You might have been around family members that were fake Christians, or maybe your authority figure growing up was fake Christians. They like to go to church and play like they're Christian just to cover up the very toxic behaviors that they had, drinking, smoking, allowing people to use them, might have sold their bodies. Um, the person that you were raised around, or you've been around people who say raise their bodies, but sell their bodies. They the type that like to follow trends. You might have had people around you that were followers, or too kind of deflect from the how they were raised. They might have been the type to show off on social media like everything is fine. You might have an absent father. You may not have known your grandfather. You might still, or your mom. There's a thing where your mom may not know your father. Um, there's a lot of drugs involved in your family, and it just seems like there's just no peace. There's no sense of peace. You may have never have felt like what is to be peaceful in the home. Might have been always chaos, always drama, always, something negative going on. Your points to grow in this lifetime, your inner child wants you to mature, learn to have an open mind, and learn to be balanced. Okay, so some of the other words, you must forgive yourself as well. You may be really good with the body. I'm saying physical healing. You may